Hitman 3 VR Reloaded is the first major exclusive MetaQuest 3 title to be released and disappoints across the board. I found it strange that hardly any gameplay footage was released for the game or the first shortly before the release. Even Meta itself didn't really advertise the game, and now we know why. Hitman 3 VR Reloaded is really bad, both technically and in terms of VR gameplay. That's why I'm only giving a first impression of the technical aspects and gameplay for the time being. Because the rest should be familiar from the flat screen version, as it's actually just a port. There won't be a test at the moment. Hitman was advertised as an immersive VR experience that utilizes the power of the MetaQuest 3 hardware. That's why it came exclusively for the Quest 3, but you don't notice much of that. As the resolution of the game is not particularly high, there is massive aliasing, which is like an assassination attempt on the eyes, to put it thematically. What is on offer here is almost a joke on the Quest 3 hardware, as there are numerous very good looking VR titles from much smaller development studios, and they weren't even developed exclusively for Quest 3. Due to the lack of shadows, the environments and objects also look pretty flat, and then there are also quite strong level of detail pop-ins, which makes the overall picture even worse. Then there are also lots of black windows popping up and other graphic problems such as ghosting and some frame rate problems. The NPCs pixelate quite a lot from a certain distance, and it looks like you're playing a PlayStation 2 title. So apparently a lot of things went wrong, although the new cel shading look would be quite nice to look at. I like this graphic style, especially in VR. The only positive thing is that, especially in the tutorial mission on the yacht, a large number of virtual NPCs can be rendered at once without any problems, even if the variations of the NPCs are quite limited. The developers also promised immersive VR controls, but there is no sign of this either. You can interact virtually with some objects, but for the most part we are constantly shown a controller button to perform actions and interactions. Be it to open doors, to press a button, to reload weapons or to cross obstacles. That's not immersive, dear developers. If I have to keep pressing controller buttons, I'm playing a flat screen game and not VR. When crossing obstacles, we are only teleported from one side of the obstacle to the other anyway. Zero immersion. The same goes for reloading weapons. Here too, we have to press a button and then a reload animation is played. If we take out an enemy from behind, we also have to press a button. You can see where this is going, can't you? The weapon handling is okay, but the katana, for example, feels a bit strange and unnatural in the hand, and you can't change the grip or holding position. You also can't grab and take the weapon you're holding in one hand with the other. A great pity and somewhat incomprehensible. When sniping, we are virtually thrown into a 2D view, which doesn't really feel good either. The cutscenes are also played in 2D, which of course also reduces immersion. I can't understand these design decisions at all, and it's not really clear to me why it took 3 years to develop this game. Hitman 3 VR Reloaded is really bad, both technically and in terms of VR gameplay, and for the life of me I can't imagine that the developers had any fun with this version of the game or were happy with it. The power of MetaQuest 3 was definitely not used here, or it doesn't exist. However, the game in this state casts a bad light on MetaQuest 3 and XR games itself. At the moment I advise against buying Hitman for the Quest 3, because for an exclusive MetaQuest 3 game it is really bad, and it would have been possible on the Quest 2 as well. You can read the in-depth first impression article on VRNow.eu.
Unlike mechanics, the cabin crew is allowed upstairs access. I see what you're getting at. Very unorthodox. I like it.